Welcome everyone, Spencer here from FiniteCards. Today I'll be bringing you my deck profile on my deck based around Megaton Magical Cannon as a part of our deck challenge series to get off certain hard to use effects or hard to summon monsters or such. I'll leave a link in the description to take a look at that and for you to potentially take part in the challenges, making a deck maybe, submitting a video in response, or I guess there's no video responses on YouTube anymore, but letting us know through Twitter or the likes to let us see your video. Anyway, let's get into this deck profile. First of all, I have Magical Exemplar, 2 of them. I was originally running it at 3, but I decided to go down to 2 just because having more than one isn't that useful. I may put it back up to 3, but it is one of the main ways to get spell counters in the deck, obviously, because every time a spell card is activated, whether it's you or your opponent's spell card, it gains 2 spell counters. And of course, the main card of the deck is Megaton Magical Cannon, so I can remove 10 spell counters anywhere on the field and destroy all of my opponent's cards, so just 5 spell cards, and I can go ahead and do that through Magical Exemplar. Next I have 2 Defender, the Magical Knight. Just works as a sort of defender, really, to protect all my spellcaster monsters from destruction. Once per turn I can protect a spellcaster monster by getting rid of a spell counter. He comes with 1 when he's normal summoned. In addition to, I can use Magical Citadel to take a spell counter off of that, or Magical Exemplar. I just have to take away a spell counter on the field. Then I have 2 Breaker the Magical Warrior. I just put this card into the deck. Needed a little bit more spell and trap destruction or protection, really. So why not just destroy them with Breaker? And 1600 isn't too bad, or 1900 if I just decide to attack, if they don't have a back row or something like that. Thanks to Brad's suggestion, I put in 3 Inari Fire, which is a great way to get Xyz monsters, of course. If I control a spellcaster type monster, which all monsters besides it are, I can special summon this card. It doesn't have a restriction saying I can only special summon 1. And if this card is destroyed by a card effect, it comes back during the next standby phase, so that's pretty awesome. Next I have 3 Madolche Mageline, which of course is primarily used to get Tiramisu out. I have considered going over to like Gravekeeper's Spy or something like that maybe, but just the ability to get Tiramisu out is pretty good. Plus, Madolche Mageline sort of recycles itself, which can come in handy, as seen in my duel versus Brad, which was a close one. And finally, I have 2 Summoner Monk. I figure, hey, I have a lot of spells. I have 43 cards. I have some extra spells in here that I can ditch for Summoner Monk, and it's a great way to get out Magical Exemplar, as well as any other level 4 if I want to just go for an Xyz play or something. Of course, I got 2 Megaton Magical Cannon. I have gotten off both of them in one duel before. It's not that hard to get 10 spell counters, especially with Magical Exemplar in the field. So I do run 2, especially for consistency purposes. It's nice to have 2 in the deck. I'm running 2 Spellbook of Power and 2 Spellbook of Wisdom, simply to give my spellcasters a little bit more power if needed. In addition to, I do run a couple Spellcaster Xyz type monsters, so I am able to have a monster with over 3000 attack, which I kind of find necessary sometimes in decks. And that also gives me the ability to search out another spellbook through power. And the Wisdoms, of course, help me with a little bit more protection, of course. I am running 1 Dark Hole. I decided, hey, why not? I mean, I know I'm trying to destroy all of their cards, not just their monsters, through Megaton Magical Cannon. But Dark Hole is always nice, so I did decide to put that in. As well as 1 Book of Moon, simply for flipping over and disrupting my opponent's plays. Running 3 Upstart Goblin. Yes, I have 43 cards. Yes, these aren't really needed. It does also increase my opponent's life points by 1,000, but if I have Magical Exemplar in the field, or Magical Citadel, it's just nice to have the extra spell cards to get extra spell counters, as well as have a potential card I can just dump with Summoner Monk. So that is my reason behind having 43 cards. I do have 3 Swords of Revealing Light. This always comes in handy. If my opponent can't destroy it, they can't get to a Mystical Space Typhoon or something of the sort, then this is going to help me out for 3 turns, hopefully help me get some of the resources I need. 3 Pot of Duality. This helps me search for the Magical Citadel as well as the Magical Exemplar or Summoner Monk, or really whatever I need. I was playing Cup of Ace, as you saw in my duel versus Brad, maybe. And that was fun, but Pot of Duality sort of gives me more of a consistency without the luck. But I would consider putting Cup of Ace in at some point just for fun. I'm running 3 Mystical Space Typhoon for basic magic and trap destruction. Card Trader for more consistency. It helps me put away not as useful stuff for more useful stuff. Triple Magical Citadel of Endymion. I don't like running 3, but I really, really, really want to have them always on the field. Through Summoner Monk, I can just ditch them for special summoning purposes if I have them. The Magical Citadel protects itself from destruction, so at least once per turn, or at least once, and it can do it once per turn. So, I mean, it's not going to come off the field that easily, so it sucks having to run 3, but yeah, as I said, Summoner Monk can ditch it, or I can get rid of it through Card Trader or something of the sort. I am running 1 Magic Planter because I am running 3 Safe Zones. This is sort of something I just have been doing lately, playing a Magic Planter because I run several continuous traps. I'm only playing 1. I'd consider putting it to 2, but I don't want to have it in the hand if I don't have a Safe Zone, and yeah, I think 1 is pretty good. And Safe Zone, I can ditch the Safe Zone, I can flip the Safe Zone, target my opponent's monster, then use Magic Planter, and I not only get rid of my opponent's monster, but I get to draw 2 cards, so pretty good there. And then, of course, I kind of glanced over the Terraforming, which helps with the consistency of getting Magical Citadel out. Quickly go over the seeds here, the deck profiles. Maybe getting a little bit long, but Daigusto Emerald, Maestroke, Exciton Knight, Starliege Paladynamo, which can be made through 2 defenders, if by chance I want to do that. Diamond Direwolf for destruction, Heartland Draco for 2000 attack, and since I do have a field spell, if you have a face-up spell card, this card cannot be targeted for an attack, so that's great. Number 106, extra effect negation. You know, I don't have any effect negation at all, really, so if I need it, then 106. The extra deck's really up to you, but this is just what I'm running. Downer Magician for 2 Spellcaster, it's really easy to get into. 2 number 101s, a number 50, Black Ship of Corn, Queen Medolce Tiramisu, and then I'm running a few Xyz monsters that require 3 level 4 monsters. Of course, number 101, which could have come in handy against Brad. Evil Swarm Ouroboros, which comes in handy a lot. It lets me... Its 3 effects are really awesome. I can send any card from the field to the hand, which can deal with Xyz or Synchros or back row, or I can send a card from their hand to the graveyard or banish a card from their graveyard, and I can use each of those as long as this card stays on the field. And then number 32, Shark Drake, which is a favorite of mine. Anyway, that wraps up the deck profile of the Megaton Magical Cannon. I'll be bringing you another duel with this version of the deck. I'm sort of changing it up every so often, which, I mean, I do with all my decks. But feel free to leave your comments below on thoughts you have to make this deck a little bit better. And see you guys for the duel.